Hello, welcome to the channel. I really got the reception from the last deck analysis video I made with D Reaper when I topped the Ultimate Cup with it. And I thought that I'd apply that here again today, even though I didn't top the Ultimate Cup. And the reason why, I would have done this anyway. I played Yellow Hybrid, by the way, the Ultimate Cup. Why I played Yellow Hybrid and failed this weekend. I wanted to make it anyway because I think there's a lot to learn in failure. You know, I'm not gonna top every tournament. Certainly not gonna win every tournament. And I even look for room for improvement in my losses, even if I do well. So definitely, this tournament was a learning experience, sort of. And I'm gonna explain why. I'm gonna give you guys the whole recap and everything, and you guys can tell me what you think in the comment section below. Do you still like seeing this video, even though I didn't do well this weekend at the Ultimate Cup? I do want to just remind people that I've played in like a whole bunch of Ultimate Cups this year. This is the first one I haven't talked. This is the first time. So it felt a little bit weird. And it felt a little bit strange. But that's okay. I want to make the video anyway. I think you guys can learn a lot by what I have to say in this video. And that's it. So like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments. And smash potatoes that notification bell. You know how it goes. Alright. So my theory for the Yellow Hybrid, alright, I was testing against the decks that I thought would see the most play, being the blue decks, Mirage and Blue Flare, the Red Hybrid. I thought D Reaper might pop up a little bit more because I did well with it the first time, and it certainly did, for sure. And Belphamon. Those are the four decks, the four types of decks, because I guess blue means two decks, that I was testing against for this Ultimate Cup. I told myself, this is the majority of the meta. I need to make sure I have a deck that can suitably take on all of those. And I did. This Yellow Hybrid deck auto beats blue decks. I have not lost to Mirage or Blue Flare with this iteration of Yellow Hybrid since I started testing it. So I felt very confident going into the tournament, saying I have positive win rates on all the decks I just mentioned. If I fight them in the Ultimate Cup, and if that's my day, I'm going to do quite well. Alright, so now I'm going to give you the 8 rounds I went through, and how I did. Round 1, I played against Gallantmon. That wasn't in my list, by the way. That deck was not in my list. Gallantmon. And it was a national champion, by the way. I was like, oh my god, I've never played against him before. Germinx is his Discord name. Shout out to you, buddy. It was a fun match. Anyway, I won the match. Barely won the match, but I won the match. But I was not expecting Gallantmon. And despite almost making an illegal play by accident, that he's like, wait, you can't do that. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. It was a close match, but I was not prepared for Gallantmon. I just knew how to play against Gallantmon, kind of, sort of. Game 3 kind of bricked, so that helped. Anyway, so round 1, beat Gallantmon. Round 2, Machinedramon. Now, I am using the Yellow Hybrid list that I put on my channel weeks ago, I think, that played 4 Lonkies. I made a change. I made one change in my Yellow Hybrid deck. I added a 4th Venusmon, and I took out the 4th Lonky. So I was only playing 3 Lonkies. So I told myself, yeah, I would play against Machinedramon literally 2 days before I decided taking out my 4th Lonky. Because there was no other card in the deck I could cut for Venusmon. I'm like, I think Venusmon is better than Lonky in almost every situation. Turns out I play against Machinedramon. So, we tied. Game 3 went to time. If it did not go to time, I would have won that match, guaranteed. However, the decks were just super slow. And that's how that went. You know, I nearly decked myself out game 2, and I had to win that turn, because I lost game 1, and that's how it happened. And then we only had a few minutes on the clock for game 3. And if I had more time, like he wasn't doing that ultimate, I was answering all his boss monsters, I would have won game 3, absolutely. It's just, I needed another turn or 2, and I didn't have it. So a tie. That's 2 ties now, in 2 tournaments in a row. That's pretty crazy. Anyway, so then round 3, I played against Bloomlord. Something I did not test against, and something that Yellow Hybrid struggles into, because they play Quartzmon. Quartzmon is better than Venusmon against a hybrid deck, I'll tell you that. And I lost. I got 2-0'd. The match almost took the whole round, but I lost. Because I just couldn't deal with Quartzmon. And if I did deal with Quartzmon, it would mean that his board unsuspended, and then he would just kill me on the onslaught. And I really have nothing to say there. I did not test against Bloomlord, so that's my bad. If I tested against Bloomlord, if I didn't sleep on Bloomlord, would I have done Yellow Hybrid? I don't know. Probably still would have. But whatever. I lost. It's fine. So, we're 1-1-1 going in round 4. Round 4, I play against Blue Flare. Finally, a deck that was on my list of decks I'll see. And I 2-0'd the Blue Flare guy. It was not hard. This deck beats Blue Flare. I'll explain why it does when I talk about the deck itself. It beats it really easily. So, easy. Round 5, Yellow Hybrid Mirror Match. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. And by the way, round 6 was also a Yellow Hybrid Mirror Match. Now, I 2-0'd both of them, I think. I am a Yellow Hybrid master. I think I am one of the better Yellow Hybrid players, like, out there, period. I just do not drop Yellow Hybrid Mirror Matches. I don't do it. Except for that one that Ying beat me in because I bricked, but then I reclaimed myself later that regionals in top 4. So, yeah, Yellow Hybrid, I'm like, it's the difference between my Yellow Hybrid deck and theirs. They were playing Kentorismons and Odin's Breath, and they were playing Koromon, Yellow Koromon Eggs. I don't play any of those cards. No, man. I play Draw Power Eggs, and I play Lopmons, and I play the Shu Chong Wangs, alright? I had so much more draw power in the mirror, that is why I won. For no other reason other than that. You know, controlled my life, drew more cards than they did, outvalued them, outpaced them. And it was that simple. Like, as soon as I knew it was the Yellow Hybrid Mirror Match, I knew I'd won. That sounds really condescending. But, like, I knew I would have won. I knew it. Anyway, okay. On to round 7 we go. And would you believe? Another Gallantmon deck. This one was 2-1. Also, this one was very close. And I think the guy bricked game 3 again, or something. He bricked one of the games I won. I don't remember which one. But, yeah. There was some brickage involved. And, sure enough, I won. Now, I want to say, if the tournament ended there, I was X1-1, because there was a chance it would have ended there, because there were 3 undefeateds, right? And I would have got top 16 probably by time in there, and, you know, whatever. We would take a top 16 with Stride, and it would have been a better day. But nope. I was also drawing, like, well. Between a mulligan, I would draw a reasonable opening hand most of the time, a playable opening hand. So anyway, round 8 happens, because it did not, you know, the 2 undefeateds happened, and I get tested against a deck that I did not even see at all in my purview, not whatsoever, a deck that dumpsters Yellow Hybrid. That deck is Beelzemon. I got wrecked. You know that Beelz X is really good against Yellow Hybrid? Have you read that card? That card's crazy. Now, what's funny is game 1, he, like, dumpstered me, and it was crazy. Like Beelzemon doing Beelzemon things. I just couldn't do anything. I couldn't interact. But then the second game, we both bricked. I had my first true brick of the day. And he kind of had a brick. Like, his stack was an Impmon followed by a Wizardmon followed by a Balmon followed by a Beelz X. That was his stack. But he ended up getting going before I did. And there was just nothing I could do about it. Nothing. And I was looking at my cards and I was, like, analyzing, am I playing this the best with the cards I have in my hand and the cards I know that are in my deck in security? Could I be doing anything differently? And both times the answer was no. It was not. So, yeah, it sucks. It sucks. We went from topping all Ultimate Cups to now missing one, which is annoying. It stings a little bit, for sure. Why am I doing this? Well, let me tell you what my Yellow Hybrid deck was intended to do. This Yellow Hybrid deck plays 4 copies of Venusmon. This card. That was my change. 4 Venus and 3 Lonky, as opposed to vice versa. 4 Venus. Alright? And the goal was really simple here. Venusmon is good against Blue Flare. It is good against Mirage. It is good against D-Reaper. It is good against Red Hybrid. It is good against Baphomet. And then I have enough Tamers in the deck and Lonkies and other options that, you know, if my security has a good chance of having cards that are good. Like, reasonable cards, you know? And just playing Venusmon control helps. It helps. That's what it does. That was it. That was literally the game plan. I was like, we'll just play Venus Turbo and then hybrid them for game eventually. And we were on 4 copies of this Rise Gray to help with a little bit of aggression. Only 2 copies of this Rise Gray X. And we played the Lopmon package to give us some healing in the later game, as well as draw power with the Shuchongs. And the other rookie we played was Pillowmon, which actually came up against Bloomlord, but he just got rid of it, and there was not really anything there. So, I thought I made a good meta call, and I felt really comfortable going into the event saying, yeah, I'm just going to play Floodgate Turbo, and I'm going to beat my opponents. I just did not think in my brain that I would come across Bloomlord, which is pretty much almost an auto. I think it isn't. It's probably 90% of the time auto lose. The Bloomlord matchup versus Yellow Hybrid. And Beelzemon, Beelzemon, they can just kill your Venusmon if they do it with a kill spell, which always happen. And that's it. And then they just wait a turn, and the next turn it's like whatever. You know what I mean? And the Lonkies don't do well into the Sunrise Buster, doesn't do well into it. And Tamers, they kept me at 4. And I didn't have a Lopmon to burn myself with, so there was no way I could have got the 3. That's kind of how that went. The Beelzemon player was smart about it, and he played it perfectly. And yeah, that's it. So, what is the moral of the story here? Why am I making this video in the first place? Oh, there was one final thing. One final thing that I think is important to mention in case any of you guys are like me. Friday night, I knew that I was going to be having some drinks with some friends. I did. I did have some drinks with some friends. And I felt a Saturday morning. I'm going to tell you that, straight up. Round 1 came around, I'm like, oh, crap. And I got to play against national champion? Fuck. That's crazy. What are the odds? Anyway. The last time I did that was at Gen Con 2022. I knew I was getting smashed on a Friday night, so I played Ancient Greymon, and I came second at the regionals after that, and then it went so well that I played it on the Sunday event and I won it. And that's how that happened. But that was an intentional choice. I brought my Ancient Greymon cards to Gen Con in BT9 format because I knew that it was a good meta call into most of the meta of BT9. I just knew it. I tested it a little bit, nothing crazy, like a few matches, but I knew. I read the cards and I knew. And I needed a backup plan if I did actually get, like, sauced out of all fucking existence. So, it was Ancient Greymon. I should have played that at the Ultimate Cup. I should have. But in my brain, I convinced myself that Venusmon Floodgate Turbo should be brain dead enough to do it. And now, to my fair point, it kind of was, sort of, but not really. There's more technical play involved. And I own the draw. I think the draw is honestly my bad. If I wasn't, destroyed from the night earlier, I probably could have played a little bit faster and avoided a draw. The guy's also kind of playing not the fastest, and, whatever. It's a combination of things, but I own it. It's my bad. I fucked up. So, that's my mistake. If I didn't do well, it's because of 2 things. 1, because of that, and 2, because I thought I knew what the meta was, and I planned for a meta that just did not happen at that tournament. And there were Blue Flare players there, and there were Mirage players there, and it just did not... And Red Hybrid players, and Balthamon players, every players. I just only saw one of those decks the whole time, and I got paired in other decks the whole rest of the day. And I just was not prepared for that. I won the Yellow Hybrid Mirrors because I'm skilled at Yellow Hybrid Mirrors. I beat Gallantmon to the skin of my teeth. And I beat Blue Flare because it was Blue Flare, and I knew I was going to be Blue Flare. I was inadequately prepared for this event. I was. I only tested against those decks. Didn't even test that much. I think I put like maybe 5 hours of testing with Yellow Hybrid the week before the event, which is lower than average. I just had a fucking busy week, and I couldn't do more than that. But going forward, I need the moral is this, and I mentioned this in another video, but back in my Yu-Gi-Oh days, I had a method in my madness where I would play a meta deck, and then I would have a list of all the other decks that are playable in that format. I would just check off the list to make sure I have answers to those decks. And I should have done that with this event. I did not. Now, to be fair, I did not expect Machine Dramon, and I most certainly did not expect Beelzemon. That one threw me off. But I knew both those matches. As soon as I knew they were playing, they just kill Yellow Hybrid, and that's on me. Could I have done better if I played Red Hybrid? Probably. Yeah, I believe it. It's a way faster deck. There would have been no draws. Uh, but yeah, that's all I wanted to show. That's why I want to do this video. I wanted to show you guys the method in my madness, and usually it works. It's worked for the Ultimate Cups. Like, I'll pick a deck. I know it's good against the meta. I'll play it, and it does you well usually. But today, or yesterday, I guess, it just was not meant to be. I didn't play any of those decks. Now, that being said, am I going to go with Redemption Shot? Am I going to play Yellow Hybrid again? The last Ultimate Cup in BT13. The answer is probably no. I don't like doing the same deck twice in a row. I do think my matchups are a little bit better. I think it's fine. And there have been Yellow Hybrid players at the top of this format. So, like, it's definitely doable. It's definitely a thing I could probably do with a reroll. But I just don't want to I don't want to do it. It's just, no. I don't think it's the way. And that's it. That's really all I had to say. And to answer other questions that might pop up, like why didn't you play the variant that everyone else plays, the Odin Breath and whatever, I just don't think it's better than Venusmon Turbo. I just don't think it is. You don't need to DB reduce their cards if Venusmon exists. And you need to draw power to keep up with the rest of the meta, in my opinion. These blue decks are really fast. Like, so it's okay, let me rephrase that. The Blue Flare, the Red Hybrid, the Reaper, and the Belfmon are fast decks. You need draw power to kind of get yourself out of that. Mirage is a little bit interesting. Mirage, I tested against Mirage. And the Shu Chong might actually be a little bit of a liability against that matchup. Because they might have BT11 Mirage on the field, and they might have Shu Chong, and you might draw a card, they might lose some memory before the tournament starts. But I tested it, and the rest of the deck is so good against it that I thought that, you know what, I'll take a little bit of maybe a small tickling issue against Mirage, and I'll just keep these cards in my deck and have a better spread all around. Which was the theory anyway. Yeah, so I hope you learned from this video. I hope that you guys took something away from it. You know, this is the worst I've ever done an Ultimate Cup in my life. I've never done worse than this. X2-1, worst record I've ever had in Ultimate Cup. I think in the regionals too. This might have been my worst Bandai event ever now that I think about it. Except for that one I played sealed only the first time. So, it happens. You cannot be perfect. In no card game do the same players always top. It does not happen. It's never happened. They might be consistent as hell, but it never is never 100% conversion rate. Never is. So, yeah, I'll leave the video at that. If you guys like this video, please let me know in the comments. Like, you know, I'm trying to make the most of this Ultimate Cup format, you know what I mean? I think these videos are good for you guys to kind of observe and learn my thought process and how I do things. And you can learn from my failures too, I'm sure. That's it. That's it, guys. You have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye.